Hi, everyone. Welcome to TalkWex. This is the third day of our annual international conference led by Ladies at UX. Ladies at UX is a global organization that has created an inspiring and inspirational global community for women who work with design and technology, leading a global movement spanning more than 75 cities around the world. All TalkWex presentations are recorded on our YouTube channel, so you can watch and rewatch our videos and share with those who are interested in the topic. My name is Mariana. I will be the host of this event. And I'm EMA, the region director at Ladies That UX, and I'm one of the chapter leaders of Ladies That UX Milan. For accessibility purposes, I'm going to describe myself. I'm an Asian woman with short black hair. I'm wearing a dark blue dress with a black jacket, and I'm using earphones with a necklace, like a yellow necklace. And I'm in Milan, in my living room, using a filter that is not my real home. So welcome to the event. Today, now we're going to be hosting Alessandra Canella, which I had the pleasure of having met her here in Milan back in 2015 when I came to Milan. She was one of the co-founders of Service Design Drinks, a community focused on service design. Alessandra Canella is a service designer with 10 years of experience working on projects for private and public clients, leading international teams to deliver impact. Tired of designing for the unnecessary, she joined FutureGov, looking to use her expertise to have a real impact. Alessandra has been working on projects for local and central government and the third sector, working on housing, children, and adult social services, rural transport, and health challenges. She's in charge of service design team as well. In May 2020, she launched Mega Mentor, a service to change mentorship for design leaders. So welcome everyone, Alessandra. Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us, Alessandra.
Of course. Thank you for the invite, Mariana. So should I introduce myself?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm a Caucasian-looking person. I identify as a woman. I've got curly hair. They're dark and they get up to the shoulders. Got brown eyes, some freckles around my nose. I've got a dark shirt tonight, blue dark shirt with some shapes all around it, orangish. Hello, Gabriella. Hello, Vanessa.
So I will leave the stage to you, Alessandra. Feel free, and then we talk again by the end of the meeting. If you guys have any questions by the end of this event, Alessandra will be able to answer all of them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There we go. So this chat is going to be about my transition from being a designer working on projects, delivering the thing, to becoming actually a manager. So I'm in charge of a service design team within FutureGov that is made of about 15 people. So this is a disclaimer. I just want to say, to be upfront about it, so there's no like big expectations. I have not nailed it yet, at least. So I've been in this journey of growing responsibilities and stepping into a leadership role from I was a senior, then I became a lead, and then I became the head of for the last 2 years. I don't know if leaders will ever feel like, managers will ever feel like they get to a point where they're actually nailing it. But anyway, I'm still like in not the comfort zone, let's say. So I'm in the process of learning as well. So what I wanted to do today is really tell you like about 5 challenges that I'm facing as a person going through this transition. And like for each challenge, I created like a set of questions that hopefully is going to be, they're going to be useful for you as well to think about, okay, when I will be in this position, or now that I am in the same position, maybe this question can be useful for you as well. So just to give you some context, who am I, where do I come from? I come from this place that's called Fulpiano Valle Magna, that it's a very tiny village in the province of Bergamo, that it's in Italy, close to Milan. And that's where I was born, 250 people. This is my family's restaurant. And I started like traveling very young because of studies, really. So Bergamo was my first place where I did the high school. I actually started living by myself when I was 14 years old, in a way or another. Then I went to Como and I got a bachelor degree in furniture design, and then in Milan, where I studied product service system design. And then from Milan, I moved to Shanghai, where I stayed for a couple of years. I did a master in innovation, design innovation at the Tonji University. I did some freelancing there, came back, I stayed in Milan for about 5 years. I worked there, I will tell you more about it later. And then after 5 years in Milan, 5 to 6 years, I moved to London. So this is my journey. And funnily enough, I don't know if I actually think I've been traveling that much, but it looks it looks like it. And this is what I've been studying, and in general, what has my career been like. So as I said, I studied at Como, Polimi, furniture design bachelor, and then I did a product service system design and design innovation, master of science, and then I started doing some freelancing in China, and it was super fun because it felt like freelance jobs were finding me and not the other way around. Then I started working in touring. I worked there for 2 years and a half. Experiencia. Major entry point for my career, major shaping up opportunity of my role. I work for clients like Unicredit, Intel, Audi, Carrefour, Imoca. And then after that, I went to Continuum, where I basically was like a strategist. I stayed there another 2 years and a half. And then after that, I joined FutureGov, where the clients are completely different. So they're DFE, Department for Education, Department for Business, Energy, Industrial Strategy, Kent County Council, Essex County Council, CAST, that is the Acceleration for Social Technology. So if we think about, like, I think about my journey, it's quite linear, of course. In my case, I went from being a senior to being the lead, then to being the head of. But actually, this is how it was in reality. It wasn't, okay, I did this and then I did that. And like the duration I spent in a role definitely had an impact on then my performance, or even like my self-esteem and my self-worth in the role. And what are the things that happen when you get in your role, right? That definitely have an impact on how you're performing and how you're doing. So when I started as a senior at FutureGov, I was an expert. I was facing the challenges of somebody who had just relocated to a new country. And relocating when you're 30 is different compared to relocating to when you are 20 or 25. I was already married, so it's a completely different environment to when I relocated to Shanghai, where it was still party season for me. Then almost 2 years, 1 year and a half in the senior role, I became a mom. So I had Josue, And I took some time off, about 11 months actually, to be like a mom and to work out how to support my child as the main thing in my life. Then I came back to work, so a major adjustment, because a working mom has like a different way of thinking about her day, and she all of a sudden has got things she needs to do after work. Like there's no talking about it. She needs to be home and she needs to do bath time, reading time, dinner time, all these things. And I'm very glad, because my husband is great, so I'm not doing all this stuff by myself. So like after a little bit, very quickly, as I came back, I became a lead. So I became a lead. New challenges at work and new challenges in my personal life that definitely had an impact on my life overall. And then beginning of this year, so February, March time, I became the head of service design, service design team. And funnily enough, I mean, one of the major changes that it's actually impacting us all, it's COVID hits. And it had an impact on the team, on the organization, on our clients. So it's not just a change of a new role, but it's a change in a massive pandemic that has an impact on us as people, first of all. So the question that I have for you is like, what's the context within which your changes are taking place? How can you acknowledge these changes, and how can you actually like design for them? These are changes like the one we're talking about that definitely had an impact on my way of performing. That doesn't necessarily mean less performing, worse performance or anything like that, but even like a different framing. Yeah, okay, I'm now the head of, but actually I'm still a mom trying to work in a pandemic, just to give you an example. Then becoming like the head of, it meant that I had to, like, my whole role has changed and has moved from designing services to actually designing teams. And I had to do, like, there are things I've been doing in this role. Like, I've been trying to really design how do we come together as a team. So, like, a new way of doing recruitment for the service and team. Lots of meetings. The one in the middle is a meeting with alumni, FutureGov alumni. Then the one on the bottom left is basically like a retrospective on something that we've been trying out that are like live surgeries. So there are meetings where people can just drop in and like pick people's brain in order to face a challenge, to talk about a challenge they're facing. The one in the middle is a check-in that we do with the team every other week, where I ask them, how happy are you? How are your projects going? How do you feel supported by FutureGov? And then they use emojis to answer, and then we do like a quick check-in, and I ask them to elaborate. And then the video that you can see that was playing like 2 minutes ago, it was more like a working session on some principles that we've been defining as a team. So these are just some examples of things I've been doing as the head of service design. And the other night I was watching this thing on Netflix that's called The Playbook: A Coach Rules for Life. And I'm not a massive fan of football or any sport in particular, but this bit that Mourinho was talking about, he was like, you have to learn. He was talking about being one of the major coaches for football, and he's like, you have to learn that you're not going to teach them how to play football, because he's playing with like celebrities, people that have been playing football forever. You're not going to teach Ronaldo how to take a free kick. You are going to teach them how to play football in that team. And this resonated so much. I still get goosebumps when I think about it, because really resonated with the way I think about my work with the service design team. I'm not at the point, like for the majority of them, they know what is service design and they know how to do it. It's just that sometimes they're missing some contextual understanding, or they're missing how they can work with other practices, or how can they work all together. So like this really resonates with my role at FutureGov. So, and thinking about it, like seeing this Netflix doc really helped me being even more enthusiastic about it. I actually got like, I was buzzing after I saw it, because like, wow, this is my calling. I love it. I'm done with design services. I want to design teams now. So I thought like it's really about reframing it. What's the reframing you can do on your role or goal to be enthusiastic about it again? And these are all the things, I mean, possibly only some of the things that I've been doing as a head of service design, from hiring to speaking with contractors to attend pay calibration meetings to create live surgeries to design new processes to gather feedback and so on and so forth. And this is what the first challenge actually. How it's there. I'm very often designing the ultimate intangible, untangible, I think it's in English, so there's a typo there, untangible experience, the one of my team, of my colleagues, of my peers. And for designers, untangible stuff is very tricky, because we are so used in designing things and say, okay, I did this and I designed this bottle and now I'm using this pen, and all of a sudden you design processes, policies, these fluffy things that have like an incredible impact on the experience of people, on the happiness of people, but they're not tangible anymore. But overall, when I go through, you saw the cascade of things I've been doing. I've been thinking the thing that has to keep driving my work is really my impact. So like, here's my question for you. What is your impact? How can you articulate it in a way that makes you happy? The other challenge as a new manager is I'm trying to design my rhythm. But honestly, to be completely honest, most days I fail. This is my diary. This was my last week diary. And like, you see Thursday there, that was a crazy day. I couldn't even remember my name by the end of it, and I changed subject 10 times. That means that in 8 weeks, possibly, in 8 hours, possibly you dedicate to one topic 45 minutes or something like that. So this is a signal that I'm not designing my time, or is impossible to design it. I don't know. It's a question. But this is definitely one of my greatest challenges. How can I and can you design the greatest challenge, for the greatest change that you're facing? I mean, I used to have like, Monday, Tuesday, I would do this project, Tuesday, Wednesday, this other project. All of a sudden, this doesn't exist anymore, because I've got too many things on my plate. And for example, when it comes down to having the conversation with that person, it cannot wait. It needs to happen for the happiness or the satisfaction, or there's something urgent about it. So this is it. Challenge number 3. Nobody at uni taught me about resilience and emotional intelligence. These are like just some random stuff that has been hitting me while I work. So I might get a message about people that they're moving on and they want to speak with me because they want to hand in their notice, or somebody that is worried about the family and they need to take some time off, or somebody who got some feedback that they want to talk about it, or somebody that's got feedback for me and they want to talk about it, or and all of this on top of my own thoughts that we all do, of course. So like, in the midst of a pandemic, I had questions about like, should I take my son out of the nursery? Is it going to be safer? My dad had to go through a heart surgery. I was missing my family, my friends. I didn't know when I could see them, and so on. So like, I realized actually that resilience and emotional intelligence are my greatest superpowers. But it's one of these things that we give for granted. Therefore, we're like, yeah, but everybody does that. It's not true. It's Like, I promise, it's not true. It's not that everybody does it. It's not that everybody's good at this stuff. So my question back to you is, what are your hidden superpowers, and how can you acknowledge them and honor them? Challenge number 4: it's difficult to be in a leadership position and not feeling that you're always the smartest, and sometimes never. So I had to get to terms with this thing that being the head of department, it doesn't actually mean that you are the smartest, but it means you're possibly the one with the most experience about it. And I've been reading this article by Andy Pollane, and it's so resonating with me, because he's talking about the moment where he set up his own studio, and he moved on from being the smartest person in the room down to hiring the smartest people in the room. But at the same time, when he stepped into this leadership role, he got into the so-called design leadership dip, when you're like, my design tool, my design craft is actually getting worse because I don't do that so much anymore, and I'm not yet a very good leader because I'm still learning. So that where you question your self-worth a lot. But then when I got to the point of like, this is fine, I don't need to be the smartest person. It's typical, like the impact that this new role is having on me and my self-esteem. It's fine. It's just natural. I got some energy back because I stopped thinking about it, and I could actually move my energy to something that was more interesting or more valuable. So, like, my question is, what is the thing you're thinking of that is consuming your energy and not allowing you to be your best self? And this is connected to it. Like, I might not be the smartest, but I've got experience, right? I've got 10 years of sweating on projects that create this invisible baggage I carry with me around everywhere I go. Got a question? Let me look in my baggage. Got a problem with a client? Let me look in my baggage. So it's exposure to what projects and life throw at you, and what works and what fails. The problem, though, is that when you rely on your baggage, very often you've got gut feelings about stuff, and gut feelings are not evidence. And I learned it the hard way that it takes exercise to actually be able to honor and listen gut feelings, because they're coming from the baggage. And like, in a society where evidence is queen, it's very tricky to say, you just have to trust me, I've been through this before. I feel like my team deserves more than that. So I've been working hard to actually understand where gut feelings are coming from, and then how can I transform them into something that other people would actually believe in, because possibly they will point to something that is shareable, or that people can actually understand. So my question for you again, what is your baggage made of? How can you acknowledge it and honor it? And last challenge, even though possibly it's the hardest, as a manager, you've got so many responsibilities, and all of a sudden you are halfway between the people and the organization you work for. And sometimes my job is to challenge back and not give people necessarily what they want. And so it's tricky, because there's the risk that people won't like you anymore, and that's troublesome, because I actually like to be liked. Who doesn't? So again, I had to come to terms that it's fine. They might not understand my work or my feedback to them, but I know where it's coming from, and it's all about how you share challenges back, or how you share feedback, or how you share like decision that you're taking, and still being like personable, still being relatable. And this comes down to like a concept of stretch zone versus panic zone that my friend Lily shared with me. So basically, there's a comfort zone. That is the thing you do all the time, and you're like, yeah, I can do this. I can close my eyes. It's fine. Then there is a stretch zone that is like, yeah, this is a little bit more than I can do, but I'm interested in going there. And then there is a panic zone. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I go there, I cannot, I wouldn't be happy as a person. I wouldn't be happy as a professional. It's not for me, really. So like, this is where I think you have to check in with yourself. What is your comfort zone? What is your stretch zone? And what is your panic zone? And what makes you go there? And what are you actually interested in engaging with? And what you're like, please, no, thanks. I'm not interested in going there. What are your boundaries? And then just a couple of things that I've been working on as a person stepping into a leadership role. I created this thing that is called like Leads Meeting. It's just an hashtag on Twitter. You cannot find it anywhere. I mean, beyond my Medium account. So the idea about the Leads Meeting, it's a meeting that was happening before COVID. I just frozen it because I think everybody was really tired of staying on the screen so much that I thought nobody wants, even though it's a nice meeting, nobody wants to spend more time on it. So it's for now frozen. But the idea was that when I stepped into the leads role, so my first leadership role, I really needed I really felt I wanted a mentor, but it was very hard to find one. Therefore, I thought, if I cannot find a mentor, let me turn into my peers. So I basically tweeted saying, anybody stepping into a leadership role, and how, and is there anybody interested in actually like coming together to discuss challenges? And like people said yes, and we start meeting. And it was like a proper nice meeting. I've been writing it in the Medium blog post. If you want, you can go and have a read. But it was particularly nice because everybody we would do like a proper introduction if we had newbies, and then everybody would come with a challenge and say, this is the challenge I'm facing today, or this is the challenge of the last month. We wouldn't talk about people necessarily because we don't want to break confidentiality, and that's not the point really. It was more like a meeting for really understanding how others were addressing similar challenges that you were facing, and like extending your peers network. And that's where I met wonderful people, and it really felt like getting this kind of peer support was crucial to bounce off ideas with people that were really feeling the same pains. But then after I've done this, I did another thing that we launched in May 2020, so like 6 months ago. It's called Mega Mentor. So as back off of that thing with the leads, I found particularly challenging to find a mentor. I've been chatting with other people, and all these other people that were like, we were all chatting about how finding a mentor is tricky, and how challenging is even to ask somebody that you look up as a mentor if they have a time. Usually, like, there are people with busy schedules, and you feel even awkward in asking. So with Christy Jordan, Matthew Fridet, and Afsa Akbar, we created Mega Mentor. That is this platform where mega mentors, so people with a different range of expertise and years of experience and industry interests and so on and so forth, they create their profile, and then you can book them directly because there's a Calendly link. And in this way, we have been basically supporting people at getting informal chats. It's a very like unstructured process, and it's a very unstructured approach to mentoring, because it's less of a structured thing every month, every week. This you have to show me you're putting in the work. It's more like pick mentor's brain for specific challenges, and it's going particularly well. We have now about 103 mentors, I think 105 after yesterday. So I'm particularly happy about this, and there's a new reboot coming up with it. So we're working something new that's coming up in the next month. So the leads meeting and the mega mentor are just two things that I've been doing in order to address my frustration and when so there were opportunities there. So this is it. And I think this is me. Find me on Twitter and Omega Mentor. I would be then more than happy to chat with you all. But I think now we can go through the questions. Mariana?
Yes. Hello. Thanks for the presentation, Alessandra. Always amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
Also for Ladies That UX Milan as well. So we have a few questions.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, Vanessa first.
What?
When did you realize that?
This one?
When did you realize that you needed to stop studying hard skills and start studying about leading people?
I think this is my personal call. I got honestly, like quite early on, I understood that I'm not necessarily interested in getting to the details of the design thing that we are trying to design. And I was more drawn into what are the processes that would enable better work for the people that are trying to do the thing, you know? So it was really like my calling. But I've got so many other people that actually, no, I don't want to do management. I want to be very great at delivery. I think like for me, it's a halfway thing. I love to do the internal work, but I think for me it's best when I can balancing out with actually some delivery work. So I'm not completely stopping with the hard skills. I'm still doing some bits of it, even because like otherwise that would create a gap between my work and the team and the work of my team, and it would be very hard for me to understand what they are facing, what are the challenges. I would possibly lose empathy. So I think I'm still doing both. But yeah, honestly, I think it's more of a personal call. Like a lot of people at FutureGov, they said, FutureGov people can actually choose between two pathways. One is the people management, and the other one is becoming like super experts in a domain. And there are so many people that they have actually gone for the second path. So I truly believe it's a personal call.
Okay, cool. Another question from Luana. What do you do to inspire others to do their best? I'm starting as a UX project lead, and it's so hard to balance what the team member wants and what the company wants.
I think is to make people feel heard. If they understand that that you actually get them, anything that will come on your way, you will be able to mitigate it. So it really has to come from a caring place. Okay, so like I really care about you as a person working on a project. What are your struggles? And then you as a client, what are your struggles? And then I think your role would be to make them the two meet actually, but never lose empathy for one or the other. They all have valid reasons for which they're feeling the way they feel. So definitely that's one. And then I think there are some lateral inspiration, making sure that you actually build in some time for reflection, for talking about best practices, for inviting people from other teams. I did this thing back in September. There was the biannual service design best practice meeting, where I asked the team to pull in a gigantic Miro board the best things they've been doing the last 6 months, like things that they were like, this is absolutely new, nobody has done it before. And it was particularly like inspiring for people that were working on projects, because then they can go back to the board and say, okay, maybe I'm going to try this out. So I think you have to work on two sides, personal level and then practice level, and combine the two.
Okay. Another one from Luana. Also, is there a way to improve communication as a leader to inspire and challenge others to work together?
Communication is one of these soft skills that you have to practice. I mean, I didn't study anything about communication, but I think is about like doing lots of practice. Like, have you got a Slack? Have you got shared channels with the whole community, with the whole organization? Try to think about, okay, I want to write a message. What do I really want to include in this message? Is it gonna land well with the audience? Is it gonna land poorly? It's really about taking communication as a design challenge. So that's one. And then I think little by little it will come in your oral communication as well. But I remember like taking a lot of time when, and I still do though, it really depends on the context, but sometimes when I need to write like a message to the whole company, I'll be checking it, 10,000 times. Did I write it properly? Even because English is not my mother tongue language. So I'm always like double thinking about it. But yeah, I'm sorry, a little bit of not answer. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. But actually,
Practicing.
I saw there's IDEO is offering like a course on communication, and there are like some on future learns about communication as well, like interpersonal communication. So I think I would start from the basics if you feel like this is definitely an area of opportunity of growth for you.
Nice answer. Gabriela, how can I study and prepare to be a good leader?
I think the only thing you have to do, the only one that's very small, is to build in the time to become one. Like study, get books, listen to podcasts, get inspiration. Treat it as if you wanted to learn Illustrator. Okay. I mean, you would spend time to learn how to use Illustrator. Take the same amount of time and transform it into a leadership course, coaching. It's a subject matter. So even though it's a soft one, there are like lots of books that help you think it through. And then like I find it that I'm currently going through a book that I bought a year ago because I didn't have time to read it back then. And that is from Julie Zhao, that is one of the first Facebook managers, and she created this book that is about how to be a good manager or something like that. But you can find it, look up design leadership, and she will pop up. And even like going through the book, sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay, this is basic, but still it gives me food for thought about other things I would like to try with the team. So yeah, I would say treat it as something that you really want to learn. Treat it as Illustrator learning, and make the time to do it.
Cool. I have another question for you. That is not one of the questions here. I would like to know, like, due to COVID situation right now, everyone is working from home, like lockdown, etc. How do you manage to engage your team or gathering the team together? How do you do it?
Again, so I treat everything that comes my way as a design challenge. How can I engage with people? Okay, like beyond this typical service anti meeting. So we've been doing with my people, like the one that report to me. I've been suggesting that we go for walks in the park because that it is still allowed to go out with one person. With some others now that it's just about meeting them when it comes down to sport. I'm actually suggesting that we go for a run. With others, I've been saying let's read the same book and let's come together and have a book club. With some others, it's about having a drink. I think you have to go where people are in this case, because like some people might be, if you're like me, like 5, you need to finish the day and you're done. So like maybe there's some other people that want to start early in the morning, and therefore like even going and grab a coffee at pastry might be good for them. I've been trying, as like I don't think in this moment one approach fits all. I've been trying to tailor it to what different people want from me. And ultimately, I think what we all need in this moment in time is care for each others. So sometimes I think a coffee where we don't even talk about design stuff, but we talk about life, is the most inspiring thing that we can do for each others.
Thank you very much, Alessandra.
My pleasure.
So I think we can finish the event now. Thank you. I would like to thank you very much, Alessandra. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You're very inspiring, and also having like a woman in a leadership role like this is also very inspiring for all of us. Thank you very much.
And
So
what I would like to
bye.
say is,
See.
just one second.
Sorry. Yes.
Right. If any of you feel like you would like to have a chat, pick me on Manga Mentor, pick me on Twitter, and I'm more than happy to have other people stepping in a similar role.
Thank you very much. So we have the next event will be a panel that will be also hosted by me. It's gonna start at like in 45 minutes. It's about how it is like to be an UX professional in Europe. So stay tuned. Thank you very much, Alessandra.
Bye bye, everyone.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye bye.